Blasters of the Universe review for the PlayStation VR.
Let's begin!
First up, let's take a look at the gameplay. In Blasters of the Universe, you must shoot and dodge your way through waves of enemies. Shooting feels great and aiming is very precise. To reload your weapon, you must actually put an ammo clip into your gun, which is always a great addition to any VR shooting game. To dodge, you simply move your body out of the way, but you do only take damage if you are hit in the head. This allows for some very precise maneuvering between incoming fire. It really does show off how good the head tracking is. It can feel a little strange, as projectiles fly through your body without any consequence, but you do get used to it over time. Also, to help protect you from incoming fire is a shield. It does have a health bar attached to it, which does recharge over time. This forces you to dodge as well, instead of just hiding behind the shield constantly. Some enemy projectiles can't be dodged, so you really need to decide when it is best to use up your shield energy. The enemies shoot at you, fire laser beams, and bug type enemies launch themselves towards you. There isn't a massive enemy variety, and some of the same enemies are seen in the different stages, but enemies' projectile patterns do change, which forces you to always be on your toes and observant of your surroundings. Your health is displayed as hearts just in front of you. Each time you lose a heart, everything goes in slow motion. If you lose all of your hearts, you must start the level from the beginning again. Also displayed just in front of you is the boss bar. Killing enemies fills this bar up, and when it is full, the boss appears. The bosses do have unique attack patterns, and they are fun to work out. The bosses can feel a bit like bullet sponges at the beginning of the game, but do become easier as you unlock new weapon parts to customize your gun with. New weapon parts are unlocked depending on how far you get through a level. If you beat a level or die, the results screen will show you if you have unlocked a new part. It also displays stats such as how many enemies you killed and how many headshots you pulled off. It also lets you know if you beat your previous record. The main menu hub is where you will be customizing your weapon from loads of possible combinations. You could make a slow firing gun with explosive rounds, a machine type gun with bullets that bounce off of enemies, or a laser beam. There really is something for everyone here. After you select a new part for your gun, you can instantly fire it to see how it handles. To further help you decide on a gun, there is a shooting range just in front of you. You can also unlock new shields. Some are larger in size with less health, and some are able to deflect projectiles back at enemies. Experimenting with the guns and shields is a lot of fun, and there will most certainly be a combination here to suit your desired playstyle. There are 4 levels in total, each can be played on 2 different difficulties, a casual mode and a hell mode. They also have an endless mode where you must fight off wave after wave of enemy. There is also a challenge mode that has a new challenge for you to compete in to get a high score within a certain amount of days. This challenge selects the gun for you, which makes the scoreboard more fair, but it does take the creativity and experimentation away. All of the modes and levels have global leaderboards, and the scoring system really does determine who is the better player, considering you get more points for headshots or if you kill an enemy as they are jumping in mid-air. It really is a great scoring system and rewards very precise aiming. Now let's take a look at how immersive this game is. The depth is extremely good on everything you must dodge. If you get hit, it really is your own fault. It really can be quite trippy when you maneuver your head through spiraling projectiles. It really is something that must be experienced to fully appreciate. The locations are a bit bland, but most of the time you will be focused on what to dodge next. And as always, some of the environment that is very far off in the distance can be slightly blurry due to the PlayStation VR's resolution. The weapon models are very detailed, and because they are made up from different parts, they actually look a bit like something you would see from a Ratchet & Clank game. Some parts also have animations on them. It really does help to make the gun you have made feel even more personal. Your health and time that is displayed just in front of you is easily viewable and readable, so it is very easy to quickly glance down and see how well you are doing, even in the middle of an intense firefight. When you first see a boss, it is very intimidating, as they are very big compared to you, and they really do tower over you. When you finally beat one, they explode in slow motion and parts come flying towards you in a spectacular fashion. It's a visually great way to end a battle. The gun's firing sounds really do change considering what parts have been combined. The music which is heard has a retro vibe and sounds like something created in the 90s. Now let's take a look at the setup and what controllers the game supports. I played this game in a standing position just over 2 meters away from the camera. The head tracking was perfect and the game did not make me motion sick. You absolutely have to stand for this game, as quite often the game requires you to duck and your weapon benches are very far to the sides of you. You will also have to dodge quite far to the side of you, so a large play area really is necessary. There is a circle on the ground that shows you exactly whereabouts you are in the world, so there is no fear of moving out of the way of the PlayStation's camera's field of view. I didn't have to check once to see whereabouts I was standing in the real world. This game requires 2 move controllers to play, the other controllers are not supported. Now let's take a look at the length of the game and what trophies come with it. It took me around an hour and 20 minutes to beat the game on the casual difficulty. You may want to have your first playthrough on the hell difficulty if you want the game to last a bit longer. If you are a trophy hunter, achieving all the trophies and getting the platinum is certainly going to keep you busy. In total there is 37 trophies that can be achieved. There is 24 bronze, 7 silver, 5 gold and 1 platinum. They do offer some really decent challenges, such as beating an increasingly high score 3 times in each of the levels, but unfortunately there is a lot of grinding ones here too, such as killing a certain type of enemy 5,000 times and for killing 1,000 enemies whilst they are jumping, which will take an incredibly long time to do. You also get your normal trophies for beating each of the game's bosses, which will most likely be the ones that you unlock first. And now it's time for the verdict. I remember getting quite excited when I first tried out a new gun type in a VR game. I really did want to see how it felt in VR, but to experience all of them, I had to play numerous games. This game really does let you try out nearly every firing type imaginable. There is loads of combinations, but there isn't too many types of each part of a gun. But like I just said, there will most certainly be a combination here to create a gun that you want to use. The main game is on the short side, but its scoring system is so well done that I will most certainly be jumping back in the game to grab some of the trophies that are tied to scores. I think it would have been better to have had more than one challenge map that appears for a certain amount of days. I think having around 3 up at the same time would really warrant starting the game up again. I really haven't had this much fun dodging projectiles in game since Superhot. It really does show off just how good the head tracking is. It really does know the capabilities of the PSVR by keeping the action in front of you nearly all of the time. It's a very solid and polished shooting game overall. It's certainly one of the best currently available on the PSVR. There really is a lot of shooting games to choose from on the PSVR. If you're looking for one to chase high scores in, and a scoring system that rewards very precise aiming, then Blasters of the Universe will certainly give you just that. As always, if you enjoyed this review, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more PlayStation VR content.